Okay, here we go. We're gonna need a large brush, a medium brush, and a small one. I do have a spatula to help mix, but that's not necessary. You can use a pencil, an eraser, or you can use a piece of chalk, which I think I will use today. You're gonna need some water in a cup or jar, whatever suits you. Some paper towels. And your paint. We're starting with yellow and red to make a brown. Yep, so we're gonna do a lot of mixing. We're gonna just have primary colors and then add in white and black. So red, yellow, and blue, and we're gonna have white and black. So we're gonna have to make our own colors. So we're gonna start with making a skin tone. I'm gonna make a brown skin tone, which is starting off with just making an orange. And after I get a good orange, I'm gonna add a small dab of blue. This may take a minute to get it right, but you can always pause the video, speed it up, and that's my blue and my black that I have. And I'm going to take a little bit of blue and mix it in here. I actually used a bit too much blue, so I think I'm going to combat that with a little bit of red to not make it look so green. Yeah, so if you're having the same issue, just add a little bit more red. Go ahead and take your time and mix your colors. Yep, keep mixing until you get the desired brown you want. If it's too dark, add a little bit of white. If it's too green, add a little bit of red. And I'm using my spatula or palette knife, whatever you want to call it, but you don't need that. You can use your brush. So here's me lightening up the brown paint with a little bit of white. Yep, keep mixing until you get a color you like, and then we'll move on to the next step. So here we're going to start and paint the canvas, the entire canvas, the background, with our large brush. And we're going to get the paintbrush a little damp, dry it off, and get started. And sometimes the paint is a little too stiff. A little bit of water on the brush helps. Also, you may run out of this brown color. You will have to just mix some more. Now you can avoid this step entirely if you just buy the skin color tone. That would be easier, but I'm trying to learn and teach new things. Okay, this next step requires that the canvas is completely dry, so I use the blow dryer. We are going to sketch a grid and the Santa face, so I had to see which one would work best, and I chose the chalk. If you don't have chalk, a pencil should do. You just may have to scrub a little harder. So I'm going to take my chalk and I'm going to start with drawing a line down the very center. So find the center of the canvas and draw a vertical line straight up and down. And I'm doing this very lightly with the chalk. I'm going to go back over it after I make sure it looks center and even. I have to take a step back and get a better look at it. And then I'm going to do a horizontal line next. When you get that done, take a step back and look at it. And if you have some mistakes or you need to erase something with the chalk, just take your small paintbrush, dip it in a little water, and you'll see me just erase that chalk line. Now I'm going to take my chalk and draw 2 more vertical lines straight up and down. After we finish that, it's time for a few more horizontal lines. So I'm trying to keep it like almost like a square. So there will be 2 more lines underneath and 2 more lines up top. This is me cleaning up some of the lines with the wet paintbrush. So here comes the tricky part. Get your chalk and you have to figure out where in the grid is the item you want to draw. So I'm trying to start with the nose, which I started off wrong, but you'll see me correct it later. So I tried to start with the very dot that I had for the very center tip of his nose, and I know that that was going to be right above the horizontal line. And I'm going to change it later once I realize that it's off, but we're going to put the dot, we're going to put the U shape underneath the nose, which is underneath the dot that I drew, and the nostril sides, which are like a pair of parentheses. Y'all, this is tricky, but you really can do it. Be patient with yourself. I'm messing up too. I'm going to adjust it just in a minute now when I see that it's off. But let's just focus on the nose, one piece of the face at a time. Yeah, and I thought about just like deleting this part out, but I wanted y'all to see that it's easy to fix a mistake, especially when you having it penciled in or with chalk. So I erased the lines with just water on the brush, and I want to start that piece over because I saw that the outer parts of the nostrils kind of almost touched the 2 vertical lines in that same area. So see, we got that part done, just some basic shapes, and we did it. And now we're going to start working on the eye to our right, and it's going to be an almond shape, and I'm looking at the grid, and it's at the very top of the square. Now I'm seeing where his eyebrows start, and it starts where that U shape is, at the very end of that U shape on the nose, and just straight up from there is when I begin the eyebrows, and it ends over a little bit past the almond shaped eye. Now we're going to draw the circle in his eye, seeing where that starts and stops. Now we're going to move on to his other eye, and I'm seeing that it touches, the almond shape will touch the vertical line where his nose ends on the other side. So draw that almond shape. I'm also seeing that it does not go past that horizontal line above it. Now we're on to the circle part of his eye. You want to make sure it matches the other eye on the other side. And as for the brows, very similar to the other side. We just want to line it up with the part of the nose. Now I'm trying to find out where the bridge of the nose goes. And that almost lines up with the eyebrows, but it comes in a little bit. And I don't have it very even, but you do want to try to have it even, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Now it's time for the mouth. I know that bottom lip, the line of the bottom lip starts or stops at the very bottom of that square. Okay, so that's the bottom lip. We're gonna do the little center part of the mouth, and then they're like a little U shape, and then the very top, a little U shape. Once you got it, you can darken it after. You can see I didn't have it as accurate as I wanted it, and I'm trying to line it up with that circle at the top of the nose and then the U underneath the nose, and have all those U's line up. So top lip, middle part of the lip, yeah, little tiny U's, and extend those out to finish off the lip in the middle, almost like some little flying birds. Now let's get into this mug. It's going to take up the square that's in the middle, and it's going to go over to the left to the other square, and it's going to go over to the right to the middle of the other square, and then curve that on down, hit the bottom of the canvas, and then do the same for the other side. And try to make it a little bit straight and curved, like all together. This line is so raggedy, but I think I'm going to fix it later. Now it's time for the handle. Almost at the top of the mug, and take it out, curve it over towards the left and down, and the bottom part of the handle. And there will be a section that we will use for his finger rather, and that is going to go across horizontally, curving down and off the canvas. And this is me trying to figure out where the top of his fur coat will be, and when I found it, I just kind of curve it downward. And we're gonna incorporate his ear right here, right at where the top of the fur coat will meet, and the top of his fur hat. The rim is gonna go just straight across. We're just going to curve that rim of his hat all the way over towards the right and off the canvas. So here is where I'm marking where his mustache will be, his whiskers. And you do want to try to make them even. It's hard to tell while recording, but if you see it's off, just make sure you try to keep them even. And now I'm gonna finish drawing the rest of his hat. This is where the ball of the hat will be, and just a little curvage of the tip of the hat that's falling over, and close up that little section to be the end of the rim of his hat. And here I go erasing the grid lines. And be careful not to erase the actual lines of the drawing that you just spent forever doing. And of course, if you had pencil, just use your eraser. Okay, our next step is to grab our small paintbrush. We're gonna get it wet with a little water, add a little bit of black paint on it, and we're gonna outline our sketch. And here I am adding some frown lines in the middle of his forehead. And also me not forgetting his ear and sideburns. Now we're on to painting the background. So I have my medium-sized brush and just straight black paint. And I'm gonna paint the black gaps as you see in the picture. And now you'll see me mixing some of the brown skin tone that I made with a little bit of blue to make the contour in the dark areas on the face. And here we are going to get the shading, if you can tell from the image in the top right. On the sides of the nose, where the bridge of the nose is, underneath the nose, the lips in the darker shadowy areas, and the cheekbones. Yep. This is me getting his cheekbones right here. Here I'm adding a little shadow underneath his hat. It makes the hat stand out a little bit. A little bit of shading on the eyelids, where the eyelashes will go, and underneath the eyes, on the side of the cup, the mug. And forgive me, y'all. I'm trying to get the hang of this video stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how to move my hand out the way so y'all can actually see. So yeah, I'm gonna be working on that. Here I am taking the small brush with a little bit of black on it, and I'm gonna get the dark spots on the eye, the dark circle in the middle of the eye. And let's get to these nostrils. Same, just watered down black paint. I'm gonna paint the nostrils, and then I'm going to paint underneath them and add a little bit of shadowy area to it. That's with the black paint that was on the brush, and I combined it with the burgundy color that I was using for the dark areas throughout the face. I'm just doing more blending with a little bit of black and the burgundy color to make it even more darker and richer in the darker shadowy areas. And here I am trying to clean off the brush a little bit because I'm about to make some gray with the white and black. A little mixture, just a little bit of black, mostly white, and we're going to start painting Santa's hat. This is me adding a little bit more black to make it darker in the shadowy areas. And here we start the first layer of the beard, and we will get the coat as well. Okay, here I am taking some gray, and I'm going to start painting more of the darker areas of gray. And here I am filling in some of the mustache darker areas, the darker gray, and underneath lip. Now I'm doing a little blending to make it a little bit more of a smoother transition. Also, it's okay if you go over the cup. That's going to be the top, layer. So you do want to leave some line to make sure you can see. But it is good that you at least touch up against the cup so that there won't be a gap at the end. So as you can see, I'm not painting like in the lines or like, super crisp there. Here I am using pretty much the same color gray, and I'm painting his finger in his gloves on the mug here. Here we go, a close up on the eyes. It's going to be a little bit of a little bit of brown and white, and paint the white parts of the eyes. Then I'm going to take a little bit of gray and do right underneath at the very top where the eyes get a little bit darker gray, and blend that in there to add some depth. Here I am going to make a little bit of a lighter brown for some parts of his eyes. And you want to kind of mimic exactly what you do to one eye to the other. I don't think at the end of this video I added the extra white to it. But yeah, wherever I put the light tones and the dark tones on one eye, I did the other one, or try to. Now I'm taking a little black and just adding some extra fine details, some dark areas in the eye. Okay, now I'm going into the eyebrows and adding some black to it, little strokes of black. Now I'm going to take my skin tone and add a little bit of white to make a lighter skin tone for the highlighted areas, and I'm going to start here underneath the brows. We're gonna get around the nose a little bit and the highlighted areas at the very top of the bridge of the nose. And as you can see where I have the chalk, it's just, it just kind of goes away once the paint gets on it. And at the end, I'll clean up any of that chalk that's left over. I'm taking that same lightened skin tone color and I'm just going to add a little bit to the lips and anywhere else I see where it needs a little bit of highlighting, and I'm taking the smaller brush and I'm just blending that through. Okay, so that burgundy color that I had, I'm going to make it even a little bit more darker with just a little dab of blue and go in where there is even darker shadows. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to some gray and tackle these eyebrows and the mustache and some other fine details before I get to the next step. This is me touching up around his beard, adding more texture, making things pop, a little bit more white, lighter gray, curls in the beard. Now I'm taking an even lighter skin tone and just making some highlights along the lips and wherever there are little tiny highlights, the very center of the nose, the sides of the nose, just trying to make it pop. And here I am going straight in with the solid red color. I am going to add some of the burgundy color to the darker areas and some white to the lighter areas on the red, the hat and the cup. And now I'm adding fluff to his coat and hat. I'm going straight in with a lot of white and gray just mixed together and just dabbing, making it look kind of fluffy and texturizing. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you want to see more, please subscribe. There will be more. I'm so excited. almost done, but we can't forget the whiskers. The beard, it's gotta be filled in with the highlights. We had the low lights already underneath, so the shadow areas, now we bring in the highlights, and that's just gray and the large brush, and just a little bit of gray and white mixed together, and just keep going in the same direction of how we sketched it out. And y'all, this is looking so good. Thank you for hanging in there with your girl. I just added a few more brow touches and some fluff on the ball of the hat. And we can't forget the eyelashes. As just the small brush, a little bit of watered down black paint, and go in the direction of little swoops going outward. As you can see, I have steam coming from the cup, and I did not hit record. So here is more steam from the cup, which is watered down white paint, and the tiny brush, and just going squiggles going from the very rim of the cup on up towards his lips. And this is, optional. I just think it's pretty cool. Also, an important and the final step is a little bit of black paint, thinned out with a little water, and your signature. Voila. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed my first paint lesson, and let me know in the comments section on what you guys want to see next. Also, if you choose to paint this, please tag me in it on Instagram at Shervon_arts.